Okay, good rising. Here we go. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope they're resting today, studying, spending time with the Most High. Good rising.
Shalom, shalom. Akde Judah.
How you doing?
I'm great. This is Israel Talks Last here in Detroit. How are you?
I'm doing great. Doing great.
I am so excited because since day one, I was already on Duo because of some other things we were doing with my family. And when you said that, I left messages. And then I said, it's cool, because, we're testing this thing out. I left messages, so you probably heard them. Then I called the next day, and I wasn't able to get through, but I listened to everyone and got such a wealth of knowledge.
Yes.
And I've been praying for a while for, about to do something like that for us, because I listen to other, secular things, and they're doing things like we need to do, like Roland Martin, it's just $20, $50 a year, and they own it. Well, we're going to do that, and then here you come. I've been following you after 2 years, and I didn't tell anyone because I already knew this information. And anytime you're a pioneer in what you do, I've been working 17 years, and in a mega church, and you're going to be called names. You're going to be called a liar. You're going to be called a heretic. You're going to be called a blasphemous demon. Only 17 years later, you were telling the truth. It doesn't bother me. It just made me stronger.
Yes. Yes.
So I thank you. I'm not going to take up a lot of time because I am a talker. Big Levi, he and I text him. And sometimes in the moment after something has happened, because I've known since 7. And I even gave a testimony on live. I called in and, I just gave it. I knew since 7 in the mega church. And let me tell you why. And even people on the street every single day are woke, even global, because I did global music. And I know people globally. So they say, listen, you know why we believe so quickly? And I'm asking them because I don't care. I have a microphone last time. They say, because we never went to church to begin with, so we were never in a culture.
Yes.
A culture, the base word is cult. Is a culture.
True.
Is a set of beliefs that are passed down from generation to generation that may or may not be true.
Yes.
And in churches, think about it. We bring family and families and bring your aunt. We were groups. We were mega. And we were covered under Acts 17:30. People don't know that. Because everything I did in Caesar Borgia's name, which are many things, and we're not going to talk about it now. But he said, because I felt horrible.
Yes.
And, a lot of pastors that I know, my cousins and stuff, mega stuff, I'm saying, don't feel bad. Listen, under Acts 17:30, everything we did, Grammys you won, plays we did, listen. If you read your own Bible, that is the same Bible. I'll use your Bible so you don't think I did a scriptural and a swagger jack on it. It says, listen, I winked, which means I looked the other way at your ignorance, your slumber that I, God, put you in. Yahweh, Ahaya, yes. I am. We know what we're talking about. The God of Adam, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, for those who don't know.
Yes.
But sometimes I'm talking on my Facebook, I'm talking to Israel, obviously, but church too. I grew up with you all when we were poor and nobody had nothing, and you were nobody like you are now.
Yes.
But we've been indoctrinated. So people on the street, that's why I called Big Levi. As soon as it happened, a lady read me, I read her. We're just one spirit. It's the spirit and truth. We're knuckleheads.
Yes.
We're everything that we were raised in a church called Shalom Temple. And I remember I spoke when I called in on Big Levi. I adore him. He's like my brother. You're my brother.
Oh, yes. Oh, definitely.
Each other.
Definitely.
And so I said, I knew Big Judah. I knew at 7, I promise you, that there was something amiss. Because I'm sitting on the 3rd row on Good Friday, they say.
Yes.
And I'll never forget, I had on beige tights because we had to wear dresses. Ever so patent leather Mary Janes, swinging my little feet because I was 7, second grade. They're trying to tell me that we're all here dressed up so pretty, hair so long and pretty and bows, that it's Good Friday, and they're telling me what it's about. And then in 3 full days, we're going to come back here because he's going to rise. Okay. I love math. I'm in the second grade. I have a corporate finance degree. Later, I'm going to have that. But at 7, I can count. You cannot tell me that. You know what I'm saying? So I ask authority because I'm related to you people, and I can. Excuse me, pastor, sir, ma'am, or whoever, deacon or bus driver. How do you get 3 days from Friday to Sunday? I was told this, sweet little girl, don't ask foolish and unlearned questions. Guess what I did from then on? I'm going to ask every foolish and unlearned question known to man. I'm going to read every book you told me not to. I'm a nerd gump. Yep. But there's a place for us. Because the more you read, it changes everything, the perspective. If you're in the little Bible, not even the 80 books because they took the Apocrypha out, but 66 books, really? Exactly. I mean, you think the whole world, and that's the Southern Kingdom. So you don't care about us, Northern Kingdom? Exactly. You don't care that we were already over here before Christopher Columbus was sent by the Holy Spirit? But you, my mega church, now they're inboxing me. And I'm not afraid to say it to the nations because I had my Jonah moment too. Yes, I've been procrastinating, say I need this and that. Well, Father's providing everything that you say you need. So he's like, we don't have time. Yeah. So you're gonna do what I asked you to do. And it's not like I don't want to do it. You know how we as flesh, we know we're supposed to do it. You've known since 7. You've been doing it. But now it's like, okay, we're down to the wire now. Yes. And I'm positioning you guys globally because if I do it quickly, like in Exodus, you're left vulnerable. You're not in the positions of, you know what I mean, for politics and finance and and the beast of the air will kill you. So now look what's going on. I've been following you since day one and told nobody because haters are all in everyone's family. Yes. I am the black sheep because I've been talking it for 17 years. But guess what? My mother woke up before she died. My dad did too before he died, before the pandemic. My brother died at 57 last year in his sleep. That's 12. Wow. 57. It's okay. He didn't even drop the bowl of grapes that was on his wife's bed of 32 years. So we're leaving here. Everyone's going to die. That's not the point of us dying. Oh, yeah. You get it? And so we're all connected on the highest frequency. Yes. We know who we are. We know who we were sent. I've been saying since a little girl, didn't fully understand the prophecies that I was saying. It was ordained before the foundation of the world. We remnant. We know what we're talking about. Yes. So I don't want to hog the time, but I finally got through. No, I'm serious. I just got back to my mobile office, I call it. I'm either in the car when I call Big Judah, Levi, I'm sorry. Because you're my brothers. If I get you confused, so what? I do my own brothers that way. They know what I'm talking about. And we're so excited. And guess what? I just saw Abdullah Seer's video of 6 months ago. And I had the nerve to ask Abba, Father, I texted to emailed it to you and Levi yesterday. I had to pull into a gas station. Didn't even need gas. Because Father, I had the nerve to ask him because he's our best friend and our father. He said, ask me questions, but don't ever doubt me. I said, Father, if this is 6 months old, why I'm just not seeing it? The one I sent you and Levi. He said, because, little girl, I'm going to answer your questions and I'm not going to tell you not to ask questions like mankind. Yes. He said, because, baby girl, I'm showing you Abdullah Seer's video now, this particular one, because you already know it. You've been knew it. I'm just bringing it back to your remembrance. So you're going to see it 6 months later. It's going to connect because you just talked about it in real time on the video last night. Yes. For 3 hours with Levi in real time. And you finish his thoughts before he does. And when you press send, it comes up. Yes. So the algorithms is controlling how fast it comes up. But we finished these other sentences. We're on one frequency. I've been saying this since a little girl. We did global music. I'm here in Detroit. My people did Motown, so it's in us to make music and praise his name. Yes. When I did it for Caesar Borgia, and he said, God says, I honored it under Acts 17:30 because you were in everything. You were on the choir, Pastor's Aid Committee. You did plays in Caesar Borgia's name at the Rackham Auditorium here in Detroit. Yeah, we did. And I honored it. He said, you know that power that you felt? It was me. But you're going to learn later under Acts 17:30, I covered you. And under your slumber, I winked, not wink, wink, hint, no. I looked the other way at your ignorance because I knew you didn't know who I was because I put you in the slumber. But now it's this. Yes. I'm asking all man, woman, and child to turn 180 degrees back to me. The one pure, true law, way of life that I made, and the one remnant going to not even question me. You're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. 2/3 are going to buck it. You're going to come up with excuses, and I'm sorry. I love my family. I love my congregation that I grew up in, Grammys and all. I love y'all.
Mm-hmm.
But if you buck in this, now some of them know on the real. And I know this is going to be played live. I don't care because I'm going to go live too soon. Abbas says, Jonah, you reading this stuff, Jonah, and then Abdullah Seer going to call you out too. Video 6 months later. Yeah, I says, I'm not trying to call you out. I'm trying to talk to you since 7. And I've been woke 17 years. So my message hasn't changed. It's just increased in knowledge. So I go back and increase. And then even with Facebook, I said, can y'all see a pattern here? I've been on for 17 years since inception. And can you see that I couldn't be lying? I can't make this stuff up. Yes. So even if you didn't believe me, and we all got whoopings together, we all took baths together before you think that you got Grammys. So can you see that even me, the me, would I lie to you? Or if I was lying, I even go there, if I was lying. Don't y'all want to save my soul? Chrissy's little soul? Because you know I'm telling the truth. Then we have inbox congregation. Yeah, I'm not going to ever call y'all out by name. But you're asking me the questions because you do want to know, but why are you afraid? What is making you afraid to speak? Do you think we got more time and Caesar Borgia is not? No. Genesis 15, 13, 14, it's time. Exactly. Raise up. Exactly. One guy, I swear to God, this I'm going to end with this. He inboxed me because he's like, hey, sis, the first time I ever came to Shalom Temple, and I'm saying the church, so y'all may as well hear it below. Shalom Temple was where we started. What are the odds of that? Shalom Temple and my pastor, bishop, uncle, a wedding officiator, mentor, and radio in middle school, and sang in a gospel ensemble with him. I'm telling it all now because they're going to hear globally. Y'all said stop. We only have a short amount of time to talk to them. There are some remnants. Some of them waking up, these pastors. One of them says, sis, he inboxed me with them because he follows me. He's a pastor. He said, I gave up my 501c3 in Tulsa, Oklahoma, because the first time I ever came to the church, your church, that you was a youngster. I wasn't married. I didn't have children at the time. You were being inducted into the daughter of Zion, and I don't take it lightly. So I've asked my people, were you lying then or are you lying now? You weren't lying either way. Because you know how we're inducted as a young person because they can see, yeah, that's you. But then life takes us on, the whirlwinds of life, and we do our dirt, you know what I'm saying? And the church world knows what we did, so what? Everybody knew what I did. You put it over the pulpit on the microphone, and you should have kept it quiet. So I'm not ashamed. You see what I'm saying? Yes. I'm a transparent girl. I can get. That's why I did a post yesterday. Do I have to get butt naked to prove to you that that God is true? Yah is true. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is true. I've been there, done that. So if I could work for Caesar Borgia, surely I can work for the boss of the universe and do it well. We are predestined. Yes. He sent us a journey to try to either toughen us on 1 Peter 4 and 12. Think it not strange, the fiery darts that are sent to try you. We've been tried through the fire all our life. 17 years woke, I never buckled. And mommy woke up, she made it to heaven. I'm going to get off the phone. Shalom, shalom. Yeah, shalom, I love sister. You. Happy Big Judah, your family, and your sons. They're doing a powerful job. This generation is woke. All this generation is woke. My children, a son and daughter, can precept all the pastors I know. So I'm telling them, hint, cousins, y'all better hope they don't open the church, because this generation is going to come in there and tell you what the scriptures really mean. So take this commiserate time, pastors, and learn the scriptures. I love you. Shalom, shalom. I'll see you next time.
Thank you. She had a lot to say. A lot there. A lot of information. It's beautiful, though. Good rising.
I think.
Good rising.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I think just now what I realized, there's a little thing on the top that you have to unmute the call or something like that. Because, okay, this is something new I'm learning today.
Okay.
So, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm fine. We missed your... I was on Big Levi. We were praying for you because he said you were under the weather a little bit.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Did you have anything you want to share with the nation today?
No, not really. I just wanted to... I just wanted to see how this stuff worked. I signed out of my class to come and see how this works.
Oh, okay. But, well, you signed in, and you called in and everything else. So, yeah, so you're here. So if you want to come in like another time and share with the nation, when you have something to share, please feel free.
Or something, yes. I have a lot to share, but I have to pick one thing to share. Because if I get going on and keep moving from thing to thing, then nobody would actually get anything out of it. But I'm not as computer savvy as all you guys, so I just wanted to check it out and see how I would be able to use it.
Okay.
And then I called the first time and you couldn't hear me, so I had to figure out what I did wrong.
Okay.
Okay, I'm glad you're doing better, and we're all learning something new. So today's a good day.
Beautiful.
Shabbat shalom.
All right, shalom.
I always can say when I learn something new, I can go back to bed for that day. And your son was reading for you the other day, and tell him that's a really great thing he's doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was very good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're there.
Yeah, he's here. He's here helping me right now.
You're the one that's helping Dad with all this technical stuff, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Throw me out there in the water. Okay, thank you both much.
Have a great day.
Look forward to see your recordings again. Okay, bye-bye.
Good rising.
Good rising. How you doing, my brother?
Doing well. How you doing?
I'm pretty good, man. It's good to talk to you one-on-one and just to hear your voice.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah. Glad to hear that you're doing better. You know, I tried to support you the best I could, kept you in my prayers, and I'm glad the Most High is still, working with you.
Yes.
Made you stronger.
Yes, yes. Thank the Most High for the family supporting me and getting me through this.
Yes, yes. I want to commend you. I want to commend you on your humbleness, your meekness, and your faith. You know, I think that's one of the things that, really gives our power so much delight in us, is when we're able to, have those parts of the spirit that he really loves in us. We have to start being willing to, bring that out and fight for that meekness and that faith.
Yes.
Yes. Our enemies are expecting us to, they have seen us live in fear so long that they expect for us to just react in fear.
Yes.
They just expect it from us. But now that we're waking, some of us are waking up and starting to see, like that's all our power really needs.
Yes.
That's all he needs, is for some of us to wake up and be willing to fight back with faith and not live in the fear that they need to create amongst us.
Yeah, very true, very true. I think a lot more people are waking up than is being led to, for us to believe. I think there's a lot more people, Hebrews as Gentiles as well as Gentiles, because as you start looking at society, what are they telling us as the truth? Absolutely nothing. And it doesn't take a whole lot of effort to realize that you're being lied to at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I saw a video with Lisa earlier this morning, and it's a brother from Alabama. I don't know if you've seen the video yet. He was so surprised that he was being treated the way he was being treated in the mall. They kicked him out of the mall because of some young white child being scared of him.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
He was so surprised. Yeah, so he was so surprised that he was crying. I'm like, man, this is the kind of stuff. If you're still crying today, over all these years, just the amount of time that we've been living in this, and then if we do the history and see our brothers that's been living through it all, before we even got on earth, like, man, just do your history and you won't be surprised about what they do.
You're right. You have to be living with blinders on, and just refuse to accept history, to believe that, these things haven't been going on and still continue to this day.
Yeah. And one thing that gets us all messed up is these sports and stuff. I've waken up to the point I don't even really watch sports anymore. Sometimes I do, let me just do something.
Mm-hmm.
If I've done some reading or whatever, and I'm just trying to escape a little bit. I use sports for that reason. But other than that, I don't watch sports. I kind of disconnected from all that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think some of our brothers, they get so caught up in, they can trick themselves by they feel like they're being accepted. Like
yes,
now they're being rejected all of a sudden, you know, because so the sports makes us feel like they accept us until we get into the real world.
Very true. And then, I mean, they have to follow a certain, script, it seems like all the time. Like, like they all need to think a certain way. They all need to react to things a certain way. They're not allowed to have their own opinions about anything, So, I mean, but that's just society. That's, if you raise your kids to, idolize these athletes, I said, you're really doing your children a disservice.
Oh my goodness!
Because they're always like, well, we can. If we made it, you can make it. I was like, well, if you're not 6'9", 6'10", with a freakish athletic ability, no, you can't. But they make it seem as if anyone can be a 6'9", 6'11" basketball player. Not if you're not given those gifts.
Right, and that right there that's just a big part of their trap.
Yes,
that's a big part of the trap, because now you're distracted trying to be something that you're not going to become unless they want you to.
Mm-hmm.
Now you've wasted so much of your life trying to pursue something that's not attainable.
Yes,
and now you're playing catch up because the whole point is like finding yourself and keeping yourself within the Most High. Yes. And I want to make sure I give this to the nation, because this is what I had to get in touch with you today, because I read your one of the books that you put out there, and it like just put a lot of stuff in perspective for me.
Mm-hmm.
The Starseed transmission.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so that just, I mean, I read a lot. I've read my scriptures. I mean, I've just born.
Oh, what happened?
Now putting this stuff into play is what we have to do.
Yes.
So we can read all day. We can read books all day. We can read what our forefathers went through all day, but it's not until we put it into play that things start to change.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's what's messing up a lot of us now, is because we don't want to be in our moment. We don't want to be in our moment. Mm-hmm. So our moment, like God wants us to manifest Him.
Yes.
Manifest Him. So that's what all the teachings are for. So He can be manifested in our consciousness right now.
Yes.
And once we're able to do that as a people again, that's when we'll get our strength to fight back.
Yes.
But even the Coburn Bible, because you showed me the Coburn Bible, so I'm like, man, let me get into this and see what's going on in here. So even when the Most High speaks through the Coburn Bible, and he's telling us in there, the righteous has to fight back. Mm-hmm. Who will take a blow? Who will take a blow for me? Mm-hmm. Who will deliver a blow? Yeah. It's just amazing to me how we're stuck in fear. Yeah. And our enemy is so good at finding the right ones of us to mess with. They know us better than we know ourselves.
Yes.
So to keep us in fear, they know the right ones to mess with.
Mm-hmm. Well, they've known who we are the entire time. We're the ones that have forgotten everything.
Yes.
They've known exactly who we are and what we're capable of, and they're the ones that have been working to hide all that information and hide what we're capable of.
Oh my goodness! So they're scrambling right now to keep that wool over our eyes. They're scrambling right now.
Yes.
I see it every day. I talk to people because I'm a chemical dependency counselor. Mm-hmm. So I see it every day. I actually see, the works of the Most High kind of manifesting in these people. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. God, man, it's so simple for the Most High. Yes. I was just kind of, when you wake up and you're deep in thoughts, because that's the best time for the Most High to really interact with us, is when we're in sleep and when we're fresh out of sleep. Mm-hmm. So how it's so easy for the Most High right now. If he wants to take down a nation and give us our strength today, mm-hmm. he can do it. It's simple.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
It's kind of like he's just sitting right now with, scratching his chins and his arm folded to see what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. This is true. Thank you so much, brother, for calling.
Mm-hmm. But I want to say one more thing before I go. Okay. Because I know there's other people wanting to call in. But the Most High, like he can speak to us today. We just got to make sure our channels are open. He's came to me. He spoke to me I think it was after a 3-day fast, and I almost died because I fainted in the sun because I coach too.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, that's a long story. Hopefully another day when we see each other.
Beautiful.
But he came to me. He said, "Thou shalt live and not die." That's the power you've been given on the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And then another time he came to me. He says, "Do not." He says, "Do not encroach on your reproacher."
Mm-hmm.
So those are two messages that he gave me on two different times. So he still speaks to us. He still speaks to us, though. Yeah, that's just my message to the nation. Hey, I hope everybody stays strong, stay prayed up, keep searching for knowledge, and hey, manifest our greatness, manifest our God, our power. So thank you, Big Judah, for listening. And hey, keep up your work, man. I see you every day.
Thank you, brother. All praises.
All right, thank you.
Good rising. Good rising.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Wonderful, wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Good. Thank you for asking. I'm the lady from Jamaica who called last night.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted to say something to you, but I didn't want to take up too much time. So I'll say it real quick.
Okay.
And I think it's important to say it not just for you, but also for our nation. So I've been following you for probably since at least the beginning of 2017.
Okay.
And one of the things that I have learned from you, and trust me on it, I study every single day,
yes,
is how the Most High has gifted each of us so uniquely.
Mm-hmm.
And the gift that you have, I haven't heard anyone else with it. And even in the way you've handled, the challenges that has come up with, anyone who's naysaying, you just keep it moving because that's the gift that the Most High has given you.
Yes.
Because we know only in part and we can prophesy only in part.
Yes.
So I think it's important for our nation to understand you may not fully get what a person is saying, but put it in your treasure box until you do understand, until the Most High gives you understanding. So that's what I wanted to say to you, how much that has made such a huge distinction for me.
Thank you so much, sis. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, all praises to the Most High. Yeah, and it's amazing how there's so many of our people who are coming up and able to just break down that word and break down that information. Sometimes I really wonder if when the Most High said in Revelation, "And the books shall be opened,"
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if these books that he's making available to us to give us the truth is what he was referring to.
Yes. Yes. I mean, there's so much more information. Like you said, we all have our gifts, and certain people, can break certain books down. Certain people have certain understanding in different areas. And I mean, it can't be just the books of the Bible. It has, because there wasn't a Bible at that time. So it must have been referring to many other books.
Correct.
And that was,
we would, yeah.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was going to say we really would not understand so much if we were to rely solely on the Bible, which does absolutely has its place, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
However, if he said, "And the book shall be open," I'm wondering about that part, but it also could have a dual meaning as well.
Oh yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. I mean, it gets to a point where we can't get the understanding without the Most High, because there's so much of this information that's been hidden and it's coming out, and the connections that need to be made. We can't do it without the Most High, because I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of information that's still hidden, so much information and books and that we still don't have access to.
Yes. And without the help of the Most High, our nation would not be able to break it down the way that they do.
Exactly.
And yes, and the other layer to that is we would not be able to understand it the way that we're coming to understand the truth.
Yes. And I mean, that's why the Holy Spirit was sent, in order, because there's no way we could get this understanding without her. And then bringing out new concepts. I mean, like many people have been set up or put up to kind of keep us from doing that. Like, as anytime I would bring up something new, I would get a lot of pushback, a lot of attacks and personal attacks, family attacks on the family. But that was all part of the path that we have to follow.
Correct. And even, understanding that the Holy Spirit is a female, a mother. Now, I now call her Mama Ruach. But that's also, something that at first, coming out of the church, you might say, oh, but sometimes we just have to just allow the Most High to break, to break it down for us and show us in our spirits.
Yes.
Because I can tell you just as a testimony that no person came to me and told me the truth. I felt that the church was strange after 35 years, and I decided to go to the Most High and ask for the truth. And immediately, that truth started being broken down. I ran into you among several other wonderful teachers, and where the Most High is able to give me something new every day in my spirit through the word, through the teaching. It has been amazing, and it was no person who came to me and told me.
Yes.
It was I who went and prayed about it. So, and that's so when we pray and ask the Most High to give us the truth, we can't now turn around and say, well, it's a lie.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'll end it there.
Thank you so much for calling.
Okay, Big Judah, you have a wonderful Sabbath.
You too. Shalom.
Shalom.
Let's be a little more patient. Good rising. Good rising.
Good rising, fam.
How's it going?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Good. I wanted to say, Chuck Tashayawonk. It's Algonquin. I'm over here in Connecticut, part of the Pequot Nation, and I've been following you for a while now, Big Judah.
Beautiful.
So, Chuck Tashayawonk, which means hello, family, and all praises to the Most High.
Oh, wow. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. Anything you want to share with the nation today?
Yeah, there's something I did want to share. I know we've been, learning about our people and everything, and I had some information I wanted to share with the family, and then they can do some of their own research if they want. But I just wanted to get this out.
Okay.
So there's a paper that I found, and I'm over here in Connecticut, part of the Pequot Nation, an Algonquin tribe, which, as we've learned, Algonquin and Celtic are very, very similar.
Oh, yeah.
From some of your videos. Yep. So there's a paper called To Do Some Good Upon Their Countrymen, The Paradox of Indian Slavery in Early Anglo-America. So if anyone wants to look this up, they can. It's by Michael Guasco, Guasco. But in this paper, it documents the Pequot War, which was one of the first conflicts in New England in 1637 between the natives and the settlers here.
Okay.
So in this paper, it says, let's see here, let me get to the right part here. Okay, so this is talking about after the war, there were 17 women and boys who were placed in bondage, and they were on board of the Salem-built craft of Captain Pierce and earmarked for sale in the remote Atlantic islands of Bermuda. For some reason, Captain Pierce missed his landing and continued to the West Indies. Once there, Pierce deposited his cargo on the tiny Puritan outpost off the coast of Nicaragua at Providence Island, where by the stroke of the Providence Island Company's pen, the rebel Pequots were transformed into cannibal Negroes, condemned to serve out their lives in slavery in Anglo-America's first true slave society. So that was interesting to me because it's the first real evidence that I've, actual quote that I've seen where our people here in the Northeast, we're actually labeled as Negroes.
Mm-hmm.
So, that strength is everything that the Most High has been telling us.
Yes.
So,
yes, that's a great find right there.
Yep.
It's just amazing once we start doing some research. I mean, the truth is out there. The Most High made them put the truth out there. It's just we never thought to look into these books. We start looking at them, and when the Most High gives us that correct understanding, we start to see the truth everywhere.
Absolutely.
And now we got the nation out here searching. I said Most High's got us out there on searching. We're finding all this information.
Yep. And actually, thanks to you, I started following the brother Abdul Asir, and he was on his ley line search, and he actually came out here to the Pequot Reservation.
Oh, beautiful!
So that was pretty beautiful. Yeah. I didn't actually see him myself, but some of my cousins did, and we're gonna link up eventually over here. So that's even more beautiful.
Like I said, this awakening is absolutely awesome, and it's great to see the brethren coming together.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else? Yeah, that was some great information right there. Feel free to call back and share any more information. That's just amazing.
Yeah. I'm happy that we have this. I don't have a YouTube or anything, so this is a good platform for me to, what little information I do have, share it with some of the family. So
beautiful. They're gonna love to hear this. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Shalom.
Shalom.
Good rising.
Good rising, Big Judah.
How are you doing?
I'm great. I can't believe I got through.
It's kind of a luck of a draw with all the calls.
I'm calling from Maryland, and I've been listening to you for about 4 years. Oh. And I just wanted to tell the family that I know we've all been through a whole lot of trials and tribulations, and I have been through them ever since I was a child, but I always knew that I was chosen by the Father. And we know in our spirits who we are, and we know that we are special to the Father, and that He chose us. We just didn't know which route to take, but He has led us all to come together over the four corners of the earth, and for us to get together and to grow spiritually, emotionally, mentally, in every way, so that we can get into His kingdom.
Yes.
And I just wanted to share that with the family.
Thank you so much for sharing that. That's what we like. That's what we need to hear, how we're all coming together, and how it's just a beautiful thing.
Yes. And I am a uplifter and an encourager. I've always been that way. And people always connect to me, strangers. I know that's happened to you in your life.
Yes.
And I know that that's happened to most of us in this walk. People, yes, they connect to us. Strangers, they always come to us and say, hey, you look familiar, no matter where you are in your walk, no matter what state you live in, because I was military, mm-hmm, and I traveled up and down the East Coast, and every state that I lived in, someone would always come up to me and gravitate to me and say, you look familiar. And I would always say, I'm just passing through. And I never knew what that meant. Mm-hmm. I never knew what that meant, but I would just always say, I'm passing through. And now I know what that meant.
Yes.
That we're just passing through.
Yep. Being a light, passing through.
Yes. And to encourage others and to uplift others and to show the Father's love, His true love, mm-hmm, through us. Yes. Because we are His vessels. And I wanted to put that out to the nation, to the family, and give them encouragement and inspire them to keep on the narrow path. And I just want to give all the praises to the Father and glorify His name.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And we're always keeping you in prayers, brother.
Thank you. All prayer.
Okay,
thank
we
you
love
so
you.
Much. We love you too. Thank you.
Okay. Shalom, brother.
Shalom. Good rising.
Good rising. How you doing, Big Judah?
Doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. This is Capstone.
Oh, hey, brother. How you doing?
It's all right. It's all right, man. I'm enjoying this beautiful day.
Beautiful, beautiful. What's the word?
Yeah.
I know you got some more drop for us today.
Yeah, yes, I most definitely do. One thing I've noticed through reading some of the comments in your videos,
Mm-hmm.
well, the recent videos, the call-in videos, you have a lot of people who have issues with what I call fear. And this book that I'm going to tell you about, maybe someone know about it, or maybe you even know about it, is called the Corpus Hermeticum. It's CorpusHermeticum. And the Corpus Hermeticum, the Divine Pymander. This book is designed to teach the people about the spirit, and the good and evil in man. But it's a very valuable book. It teaches the people even how to find what they call the mind of God. It also tells, it will also help people who may be having some experiences at night,
Mm-hmm.
or even in the daytime, where maybe they feel like something is in their room or something is touching them. And normally that's what's considered the Holy Spirit or your higher self trying to make contact with you.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, we all know we've been lied to since the beginning of time, and therefore, with that lying, there's what they call a veil over the people's concept or consciousness.
Yes.
Which prevents them from accepting or allowing contact with the spirit, and they do not force it on you. Not unless you're someone special, then they coming in and do what they have to do.
Mm-hmm.
But that would solve a lot of problems when people contact or make contact with their higher self or the Holy Spirit above. For a matter of fact, it would solve a lot of problems that the people are talking about, such as chemtrails.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why I say chemtrails? Because if a person has a higher self, have their physical form down here on earth and a higher self up in the heavens, you never know. You may be in charge of something up there. And if you make contact, then you can use your higher mind to solve those problems. If people reflect back on some time when, all of these chemical plants and everything was blowing up,
Mm-hmm.
I'm certain that didn't just happen by coincidence. It was someone using, more than likely, their higher mind to solve those problems. That's what it's designed for.
Okay.
But in order to get to your higher self, you have to go through this veil. This veil is something that is protected by some things that you might not want to see.
Okay.
But the goal is to get through it. It's like a test. The Father's always testing us.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a test to see if that's what you really want, right?
Yes.
But that's the only thing that prevents the people from getting through to their higher self or to the mind of God.
Okay.
And that's very important. That particular book, it'll help people to understand that maybe that what you're seeing or what you're experiencing in the daytime, morning, evening, night, or whenever you're experiencing it, they've never hurt no one. No one ever went to the hospital and said, well, a spirit came in the room and stabbed me.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what's happening. What's happening is, like I said, they're trying to make contact with you.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to let you know, direct you towards the power, towards the true light, because they know and understand what happened to you. This is why most people who have those experiences, only thing that caused them to react negative behind it is their fear.
Yes. Yes. People are definitely afraid of anything new.
Go ahead.
The most, well, I said many people fear anything new.
Yes. And that's what it is. So the people actually can help this process that we have going on planet Earth if they dig in and put their fears aside, even though that's a monumental task. Yes. But it can be done.
Yes.
And it's very important that it is done. Even though it don't take many, it could take two, and we'll still get the job done.
Yes.
But the job, if everybody pitch in, then they're doing their part of the job.
Oh, yes.
And for a matter of fact, in this book that I just told you about, it says the greatest evil in man is not knowing God.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a page and a half that they talk about this veil that covers your eyes, that prevents you from getting to the other side where the true light is at, because you got to go through something before you get to it.
Yes.
And this is what people maybe consider spiritual awakening.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, it's frightening at the beginning, but if a person sit down and quiet their mind and analyze what's actually taking place, it's a benefit for you that will heal all your ills.
Mm-hmm.
All your sicknesses will go away because they will heal them for you, because that's what they do.
Okay. That's good. So again, great information. Please continue.
Yes. So, that's what I wanted to share. Because, well, let me add a little bit more to that. Most of the people, before they found Hebrew Israelites, they was into Christianity, which is no fault of their own. For a matter of fact, it was actually good if they could take it a little bit farther.
Mm-hmm.
But Christianity tends to teach and to control a person with fear.
Yes.
Fear such as don't look in the skies, don't look at the stars, don't read this book, don't do this, don't do that, or you're going to hell.
Mm-hmm.
And if a person been trained that way all their life, it's kind of hard to find the Father.
Yes.
Everybody say they love him, but you got to know him.
Mm-hmm.
That's considered love for the Father. Know him. And they even created some statements that allow you to recognize that's what it's all about, because on the pyramids it say know thyself.
Mm-hmm.
Know thyself well. What that's actually telling a person is to know thyself. If they're talking to you and you're sitting right here, okay, well, there must be another part of me that I don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
Because they say know thyself,
Mm-hmm.
and therefore that's that higher self that they're talking about.
Okay.
And with that higher self, it heals a lot of the ills. I know some people that didn't had some medical issues. It's healed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the way the Father works. And especially at this time, because we in what they call the age of Aquarius,
yes,
which is all of the secrets going to be unveiled.
Mm-hmm.
So while all of this unveiling is going on, people need to participate and remove the veil from their own eyes.
Yes.
You know, and some people, they would hear a person talk like this here, and they would say, well, that don't set right with my spirit.
Mm-hmm.
That's because that veil is covering your eyes.
Yep.
And you can't comprehend what's actually taking place.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, if you listening in and you still have that, you know, Christian form of teaching, then that will cause a problem for you. And that's the goal for what they call the devil.
Yes. Yes.
So I don't want to take up all the time. So I just put that out there, and I'll let your publicum go ahead on and do a little more research into that particular book.
Thank you again. That's great, Capstone. This is great information. Like you said, it's all about fear. I mean, it's always been about fear with the churches. And you know what? It was even fear when we came into the truth initially. You know, I said we first came into the Hebrew Israelite truth, it was still about fear. It was about, you know, they even did the whole thing with don't read this book, you're going off. Don't do this, don't do that. It just seemed like Christianity kind of extended into the Hebrew Israelite awakening.
Yes, definitely. And that is the case currently today.
Yes. Yes.
And that's a problem, because there's always the other side of all religions.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the problem, because at the beginning we knew the Father.
Yes.
We understood the Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they even put it in some of the movies like Avatar.
Yes.
When she stated that I can't teach you to see,
mm-hmm.
when she was standing on that limb with this other man who got into that avatar, she said, I can't teach you to see.
Exactly.
Because it's a part of this creation, which is created by the Father.
Yes.
And that was our downfall. That's what we trickled farther and farther down into this illusion of this physical form.
Yes. And we think that that's all that there is. And we don't realize, we don't make that connection with the spiritual form that we came from.
Yes, yes. And that's where all of the issues come from. And this is what the Father's trying to do, trying to get everybody on board so we can go ahead on and get this mission accomplished.
Yes.
Without having to force it on his people, because he believes in freedom of choice.
Yes.
You know, he don't believe in shoving it down your throat, but at the same time, he'll give us enough time to correct the problem. For a matter of fact, you put a video out about Trump's spiritual advisor,
mm-hmm. Paula White. Yes.
Yes. That what you've seen her doing, she was calling for reinforcement from South America.
Mm-hmm.
She was calling for reinforcement from South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what she was actually doing is dealing on that level of spirituality for reinforcement.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime a person calls for reinforcement, they have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
That problem is they're failing at what they're trying to do.
Yes.
And the other time when I spoke about the Anunnaki,
mm-hmm.
right? And I mentioned that Enki only had a certain amount of powers. He was restricted.
Yes.
So that's what this is all about. Enki needed some assistance.
Mm-hmm.
So they figured there was some idol spirits around that they can call for some type of assistance.
Yes.
But there's no assistance, because like I said, the whole cosmos is against what he did on the planet, and they're here to correct the problem. So there's no reinforcement for them. It can only go farther and farther into degradation.
Yes. All right, brother. Thank you so much for sharing this information. More food for thought.
Yes, sir. All right, then. Take care and have a great day, man.
You too. Shalom.
Shalom.
Good rising.
Good rising, brethren. I always want to do that. Hey, man. My handle is GoGoLS86. I want to say I love your radio show, man. I find that the YouTube community have been spitting straight facts, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yes. It's amazing. Well, it's a great opportunity for people to come out and bring out information, share with the nation, so we can all grow.
Yeah, exactly, man. Because this is the time, man. It's the time. This is the Great Awakening.
Yes.
A lot's been going on. Have you ever heard of a phenomenon called gang stalking?
I've heard of it. You want to break it down for us?
Well, the gang stalking is basically, I guess a lot of people say it's a form of human trafficking, where they target particular individuals. See, if you come to a certain truth or whatever, they start sending people to follow you around and all this stuff.
Okay.
And it's basically you could be chilling, having your sandwich downtown, and there'll just be some random guy who will sit next to you and just start watching you. Wherever you go, there's always someone watching you. The way they do it is through basically your mobile devices. They follow whoever. If you got a cell phone, you basically got a tracker on you.
Yes.
And, good luck getting through this day and age without a cell phone.
Right.
But that's basically what it is. But the more say you learn and the more you awaken, the more blatant the gang stalking gets. Because the whole thing is, I know you go on about the ley line, and yes, our people had ley lines all over the earth. Mm-hmm. But part of us going through what we go through is, while we are getting our ley lines back, it's kind of redundant at this point because we are becoming the ley lines. We're all walking D-Wave computers. You've heard of the D-Waves, haven't you?
No, break it down for us.
D-Waves is basically, you can look this up yourself. D-Waves is basically these computers that these blancos, we'll call them, have developed that alter reality.
Okay.
Wow. And kind of like CERN, like a mini CERN. And what they won't tell you is, they try to scare you with all the tech but they won't tell you we are walking D-Wave computers. And the more you clean yourself up, the more you clean up your mind, body, and spirit, mm-hmm. the more it activates in you. And the whole thing is, this is what gentrification is all about. They move you off your lands periodically because you juice them up.
Oh, okay.
And they want to live on your good energy and good karma.
Wow. Okay.
And
it makes sense.
Yeah, that's basically what it's about, because what they won't tell you is you're already onto it. The curses are upon them, and it's been upon them for a while, but they've been able to outrun them by moving off of where we're at and moving on to where we used to live and living in where we used to live. Mm-hmm. Because our energy being there makes it that a new baby ley line they get to siphon off of.
That makes a lot of sense. And even when they came over here, I said probably living off of the lands and everything else. And when they got over here, definitely getting the energy that we had from the lands here as well. That makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. Because once again, you kick it in you go through the Lord of the Rings stuff. Well, if you want to go beyond Lord of the Rings, J.R.R. Tolkien had wrote another book called The Silmarillion. And in the Silmarillion, it basically goes over the origins of Middle Earth. And one of the things it breaks down is the elves are light beings. The reason they had to leave Middle Earth is because their time on that particular landmass was done. They had to go back to where their ancestors were from, the West.
Yes.
And when they go to
go ahead.
And when they go to the West, they basically get all their powers activated because they're already powerful over in the East where they're at.
Yes.
But they get all their light powers activated. And what he wanted to write before he died was about the final battle, which is all going to take place in the West. All that stuff is talking about us over here.
Yep.
And that's what it's all really about. And yeah, basically, you being a walking D-Wave computer is the more you clean yourself up, the more you do right, the more you do what you're supposed to do, the more the Most High, the Creator, or whatever you want to call him, activates you. And the more you're able to do and the more you're able to see, the more information you'll come into.
Wow.
And yeah, that's basically I want to share. Oh yeah, and the last brother who came on was spitting about his dreams, because I honestly believe we're all getting little pieces of the puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're all supposed to connect and share with each other. The last kid who called, he was talking about a dream he had about harpies and stuff all over the roads, basically giants and stuff running everything.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I had a dream a while back, and in this dream, it was like I was seeing things through the eyes of, once again, I'm going to call them Blancos. I'm not going to throw anything out of Blancos. And I was in this house I'd never been in before. It was a nice house. Basically what you see them living in movies, with the 2 stories and the staircase, that type of deal. And they all were in the house, and they were living in they were in fear. They were in absolute fear. And they had all types of weird shit happening to them. These invisible creatures and stuff stalking them and breaking their windows. And they all tried to get in this car, and they tried to run away. And when they were driving away, basically big hairy Bigfoots and shit started running out of the woods and ramming their car.
Oh, wow.
And it rammed their cars until it broke down, and then it ripped off their doors and walked off into the woods with them.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I think we're definitely getting spiritual downloads. I mean, when we sleep, that's when the Most High is communicating with us.
Exactly.
And we're getting downloaded on, and then we wake up, and and the Most High is giving us like our spiritual instructions when we're unconscious, and then we kind of wake up, and then
exactly.
And then those are the kinds of things that they kept us from doing. Before we would do that kind of stuff, and you would say things about your dreams, and they'd be like, "Oh no, man, that's not true. Don't worry about that." But that's kind of to keep us, apart from the Most High.
But no one listens to him anymore.
No, exactly.
So it doesn't matter.
No one's listening to what they have to say anymore. Exactly.
It doesn't matter what they say anymore. Exactly, because they found to be, everyone sees them to be false liars. So everyone's like, why would I continue listening to a liar? Exactly. And that's part of their curse. They built their own box, their own coffin.
Yes. And now, and when they're talking about religion at this point, I'm like, they've lied about absolutely everything. Why would you listen to anything that they have to say, or feel that you have to prove absolutely anything to them?
You're right, man. You're absolutely right. You be singing when I hear you say that, man. It's the truth. And if you're doing what you need to do, and if you're asking for guidance, you will get it, right? This is the time to be doing everything you need to do, and you'll be guided.
Yes.
But they will still work against you. Me and my wife, we broke off, and we bought a little piece of land, and we've been working it way out in the woods. Mm-hmm. And no neighbors. We just been working it, and tearing down what we need to tear down, and putting up our gardens and all that stuff. And we find that these people, they're coming out of nowhere looking for us. They're coming out of nowhere to make noise, to try to camp out. As big as this place up, they always want to come do it next to us. They're still trying to siphon around where we're from. Mm-hmm. And also, once again, they will do everything to break up the awakening. They'll do anything and everything to... You may think you're nobody, you know what I mean? You may think you're nobody just doing it, but believe me, people on high are watching you. Yes. They're watching. It sounds paranoid, but it's true. They're watching everything you do, and they'll spare no expense to stop you. So much to the point that we put up security cameras, and in the rain, at the risk of sounding like a tinfoil hat, but I'm going to say it. Fuck it, why not? In the rain, we seen these people basically like I want to say invisible technology. You ever seen Hollow Man when he gets wet? Mm-hmm. It was like that. Someone walking in the rain like Hollow Man, but you could see him because the water splashing on him.
Wow.
It's that fucking deep. Mm-hmm. So don't underestimate yourself. The people out there, everyone there, don't underestimate yourself. Believe in yourself and do what's right. Love each other, work with each other, and be willing to learn and ask for guidance. And believe me, some wonderful, you're going to see amazing things. Yes. This is an amazing time to be alive. I just want to throw that message out there and thank you for the wonderful radio show.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you for that great information. Shalom.
Shalom.
Just gonna wait a couple more minutes, see if we get a couple more calls. So a lot of great information, a lot more food for thought. So the Most High is working. The Most High is bringing so much information out. This is amazing. They're planning on doing this. As long as the Most High allows us to bring this information out, bring this information together. I think you're going to end it there today. Thank you for the people who called. I hope this video is a blessing to the people who are going to listen to it later on. You're going to get some more knowledge and understanding. Shalom.